Hello, friend. This week's crypto project review is going to be on meter.io. So let's jump right in here. So apparently 98% of you wanted to have this project reviewed. So that is what we are going to do. So hopping on over to their website, something I really like about this project when I was reviewing it was that the team is right there up front and center. And so that's a really good sign that you can find the team because an anonymous team is the number one red flag that you don't want to see in a cryptocurrency project. And you can even see that some of them have their LinkedIn linked. So if you go through their LinkedIn, you can actually learn more about the particular team members. And this is really good background research you can do on how much experience the team brings to the project or each individual brings to the project. And if the team as a whole has the necessary experience and skills to be able to deliver on what their target is. So this is a good sign. Another thing you want to do is you want to check out the token contract. And the easiest way to do that is to go to their token, which I pulled up here on CoinGecko, and then you go to Token Sniffer. And on Token Sniffer, you'll want to copy the contract address over to Token Sniffer to see what their token score is. It'll give you a really quick spit out of how risky the project is based on previous projects and how risky they've been. So unfortunately, this one is 15 out of 100, and they are considering it high risk. Some of the issues they identified are no prior similar contract. So it's kind of hard to gauge there. It could have been a brand new type of technology that is being deployed. And then it gives you some other indicators of what it views as wrong. One thing here to note is that when it says all holders possess less than 5% of the token supply, that means that there is basically one wallet that has a lot of tokens. So this isn't necessarily a really bad thing. You can actually go here and click on view holders. And what you'll find is that it gives you a list of all of the token holders. So this is the token. It gives you the total max supply over on Etherscan, what the total market cap is, fully diluted. Fully diluted just means that if all of the tokens that are in existence are in circulation right now at the current price of $8.90, the total market cap would be about 26 million. So here we see that one wallet has 46.6667% of the total supply, and it's got a pretty flat number. So that could be part of the contract. And then this other one is another indicator, kind of a red flag. It's got 18% of the total supply. So if either of these wallets were to dump their tokens, that would be a red flag. That being said, you would want to look closer because this one having a flat number, that just almost never happens in crypto. So this is probably something like the project treasury where they store all of the tokens that they haven't distributed yet. And then this one could be something like a burn address or a burn wallet. So if you are thinking of investing into this project, you would want to look into that closer just to make sure that there is no one person who has a significant amount of the supply. And then if they choose to sell their tokens, they can really drive down the price pretty quickly. And so you don't want that. Another thing that's a warning sign is at least 95% of the liquidity locked or burned. There's less than 0.01%. So that's another big red flag. Liquidity locked just means that the people that are putting in their that are contributing to making the market liquid, which just means how easy it is to buy and sell without changing the price, are not guaranteeing that availability of buying and selling is going to be there at any time. So for instance, if one of the founders has a disagreement with the others and decides to leave the project and wants to sell their tokens, they could do that right now by the looks of it. And they could theoretically crash the token price because once a founder sells, say something like 10% of the token supply, that would do a lot of damage to the price. And when people see the price dropping by a significant margin like that, they would start selling and it would create this positive feedback loop where the price just keeps dropping. So that is something you'd want to be aware of. Another thing we want to do is we want to check their communities, for instance, Twitter, and see how active they are. So they've got about just under 20,000 followers. Their pinned tweet is from October 9th, and they last tweeted 7 hours ago, and then retweeted something from 6 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 5 hours ago. So they're pretty active on Twitter, which is a good sign. So checking the communities is something you'll want to do. For instance, you can go to the Telegram and just ask, hey, I'm interested in learning more about this project. Where do you guys recommend I get started? And the community, if it's good, it'll respond and someone will be like, hey, I'm really excited that you're here to learn more. Here are some resources you can use, or here's a link to our website or something like that. And you'll want to do that in not just the Telegram, but the Discord and the Facebook groups as well. And really any socials that they have linked. You want to see how many members there are and how active they are. A large number of members of the community isn't always a really good sign. You also want to be aware of how many people are engaged. For instance, they could have bought like 20,000 followers, which we saw over on Twitter, but it's really hard to buy engaged bots, basically. So something like Discord would be a good place to go and just kind of interact with the community and see how people respond, and see how quickly people respond and see how much chatter is on the community, and things like that. Another thing you'll want to do back on their website is to check out their white paper. This is really important because it should give you a clear understanding of, okay, it doesn't look like they're going to let me load this with Brave. So let me hop on over and disable the blockers. So that's kind of an annoying thing. That's not really a red flag about the project, but the fact that they don't allow you to view their white paper without using their trackers is kind of not necessarily a red flag, just sort of annoying. So Declaration of Decentralization. Imagine there are no countries. So when you are reviewing a project, you'll want to go through and you'll want to read their whole white paper. And the reason for that is the white paper is basically a blueprint of here's what we are planning to do. Here is what the purpose of this project is. Here is the problem we are solving. Here's how we're going to solve it. And if that is not written in a way that is understandable to you, that's not necessarily a good thing, because oftentimes in fintech and finance in general, people will make things overcomplicated so that you are easier to take advantage of. And you don't want things that are super complicated. And sometimes things just are complicated, but that's what you want to check the community for. If, for instance, you read through this white paper and you understand some of it, but you don't understand other parts, you would go to the community and you'd ask, hey, I don't understand this. Can someone explain it to me? And sometimes it's easier for people to explain something if they understand where your sticking point is. So you'll want to go through and read the white paper, make sure you understand what they're saying, what they're trying to solve, why they're trying to solve it, how they're trying to solve it, and really get a feel for what this project is going to do, and then evaluate based on your own opinion and your own research how effective you think they might be with the technology they're employing and how disruptive that technology can be. For instance, are they doing something that could fundamentally replace the global shipping industry, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry every year? Or are they doing something that might, fundamentally shift something like how to buy flowers at your local florist? One of those has a much larger total addressable market, and so that one would have a lot more room for growth. So that's something else you'll want to look at and try to keep an eye on with the white paper. Something I do really like about their white paper is that they actually identify risks to the project. And among those risks, I believe I saw was uncertainty in regulations, failure to develop security weakness. That's another good thing, that they identify these major risks that a lot of places don't really talk about. Security weaknesses in blockchain, it's code. Code sometimes has bugs. Code can sometimes be exploited. And so them identifying that is a good sign that they're being really open and honest with the community. And another thing is uncertain regulations. And I really like that they identify this as a kind of clear, this is a risk that our project will face. A lot of projects don't really address regulation too much. And so it's a really good sign whenever a project is aware that something could be an issue. For instance, Ripple didn't do a good enough job with their regulatory risks. And so now the SEC is after them, and it has caused a lot of problems. And whether the SEC loses or wins is irrelevant in this case, because they are taking Ripple to court. Ripple is having to put money into defending itself in the courtroom, and through legal proceedings, rather than putting that money towards more development or things like that. And so projects that are much more aware of this won't be blindsided and then be much more heavily regulated. And you do want to be able to comply with as many regulations as you can, because then you can have a much larger addressable market. For instance, the United States has one of the largest economies in the world, and people in the United States have some of the highest spending power. And so you want to be able to capture that market with a worldwide project, as most blockchain projects are. But the United States also has some of the most restrictive laws on finance and financial regulations and stuff like that. So if you are from the US, you may be familiar with trying to use certain exchanges and you can't. You may be aware that Binance is one of the largest exchanges for cryptocurrencies worldwide. And Binance, in order to adhere to US laws and regulations, had to make a US specific Binance.us website for US users to use Binance. So that just gives you a sense of just how regulated the finance space is to kind of inhibit innovation a lot of the times, which is unfortunate. But that's just where we are in the world today. So it's good that projects are aware of this. And so this really, to me, shows that the project is looking into the future at what potential issues might be. And they're kind of discussing that in their white paper. Something that is a bit much is the Bitcoin white paper, which revolutionized, finance and brought blockchain to the front and center of the world, and arguably developed the entire industry. Was like 8-9 pages, and this one's 35. So a lot of the time, there is a lot of information you need to pack into these, and it's hard to make it all fit into such a small amount of space. But again, it is meant to be something that pretty much anyone can pick up, read, and mostly understand. So you'll want to take some time to review this. And then when you have questions, you'll want to go into the team's socials and then start messaging and asking your questions there. So overall, I think this looks like a pretty good project. I wouldn't say it's a scam at this point because of those things we checked. We checked that the team is not anonymous. They even link their company LinkedIn here, which actually, let's see if we can check that out. Will it let me? No, it won't. Okay. But they link their company LinkedIn. And if you go there, you should be able to see people that work for the company. And so you can follow that through to see all the people that are involved. And because of that, the team isn't anonymous. So they are very unlikely to do something like a rug pull or any other kind of scam. Another really good sign, we had the white paper identified the risks. Token Sniffer is a little concerning because we've got only a 15 out of 100. Keep in mind, though, this is sort of an automated software and it's made to make your job easier, but not replace your own research. For instance, the thing I like to go back to is the holder analysis, that it can't determine the difference between, say, a burner wallet and a project treasury wallet. So when you have something like that and you go to the Etherscan to see the wallets, there you can actually do a little more digging. And here we see it's 2 wallets. One of them very likely is the project treasury. The other one very well likely may be a burn wallet. And a burn wallet is basically some fee on every transaction is sent to this wallet, which is never going to have the keys taken out of it or have the funds taken out of it because they don't have the keys to the wallet. And in that way, they create deflationary pressure on the currency, which basically just means there'll be less of the currency. So assuming the project stays just as valuable, each individual piece of currency will go up. So it's kind of like if you have $100 total in circulation today, and by the end of the year, there's only $90 left. If there's 10 houses at the beginning of the year, then each house is going to be worth $10 for that $100 total value, right? But then if you burn 10% of the currency supply, each house is going to be then worth $9, which means your $10, if you hold your coins, which are in this case, let's say $10 worth, you could buy not only a whole house, but a whole house and then a little bit of extra. So hopefully that made sense and wasn't too confusing. If you have any questions about that, leave them in the comments and I'd be happy to answer. Hopefully you found this kind of useful, helpful in terms of what to look for right off the bat for a team, or for a project, I should say. I do really like that the team's not anonymous. That's the number one thing. They've got advisors. There was something else. I believe they may have been recruiting. That is another really, really good sign. If a project has like a careers section or get hired or apply to join our team, that's another really good sign, because that shows that they have funds to hire more people. Oftentimes, people in the beginning of a project will not necessarily be making too much money, and the founders will sometimes just bootstrap it and take equity later. So if the project does well, they will get like 20, 30, whatever percent they agree on. And so the fact that they are in a position now where they can hire other people is a good sign. I thought I'd seen that on the website when I was reviewing it earlier. I'm not seeing that now, but that's something else you'd want to look for. So I think that about covers it for a brief review. Kind of see if this project is more likely a scam or not. At this point, I'd say not, just because team's not anonymous. They've got a lot of resources available. You can definitely check them out, and let me know for yourself in the comments what your thoughts are on this project. If you have any questions about the white paper, make sure you go drop them in their community. If you don't get your questions answered, I'd be happy to help you with anything you need. So drop those in the comments below. If you found this helpful, like the video, make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'm going to start to try doing these weekly. So make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which is where I collect the project requests. And then, as you can see, the vote for this week was Meter.io by a lot. So hopefully you're all happy with that. If you requested Olympus, GM, or Chromia, we'll be potentially checking those out later. So stay tuned. And thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time. And good luck with your cryptocurrency searches and your project research.